What is up, everybody? It is the shift from Cooperstown, New York. We are here once again, second year in a row. I am Francisco Rojas, and this, my friend,
what's going on? It's Nick Earnshaw, Francisco. Whoa, we're back in Cooperstown again. This time we're going live. Our setup's a little bit better this time. Look at this.
Shift couch.
We have a shift couch now.
We brought the couch with us.
We did, and you believe that, and you probably should believe that.
Believe it. So, well, honestly, we're all very excited to have you all here again. Look, we're moving up. You know, last year we did the live recording. This year's a little different. We have the StreamYard live recording, so we're actually streaming live for you guys. So really excited to have you. You know, it's like Wimbledon, right? They have the breakfast in Wimbledon. Now you got breakfast with the shift.
Yeah, breakfast with the shift. How about that? How about that?
Here. It's been, honestly, Nick, it's been really, really exciting this year because we were able to see most of the museum this time. So it's going to be a pretty easy show today. We're going to get into our experience once again this year in Cooperstown, and then we'll get into the inductees from this year as well. Congratulations to Joe Mauer. Congratulations to Adrian Beltre, Todd Helton, and all-time manager Jim Leland.
Yes.
So we'll get into them, and then we'll end the show doing what we did last year. We'll preview next year's Hall of Fame ballot. So we'll do that. So Nick, what did you think of this year's experience? We got down here pretty much the same time. Yeah, about noon, 12:30ish. So got down here. Yeah, and ate some food and went to the museum.
Well, it was a great time, to say the least. Like, we had an absolute blast. Drive was really easy. It was about 4 hours, 4-hour drive, I guess, right, for us.
Yeah.
But we got down here, we got pizza, and then we started shopping a little bit, and then we went into the Baseball Hall of Fame, the museum. Last year, our main goal was to see kind of the Hall of Fame itself, right, where all the plaques are located. 100%. That's where we were at last year for the most part. So we kind of missed out on a lot of the museum part. That's kind of where we were at this year. We went through the entirety of the museum, and that, I'll tell you what, I think that was my favorite part. I think this year, being at the museum, that was really cool. I was really excited to see that. Like all the memorabilia, the history, that was really cool to me. And I think the number one thing that really stood out was how everything was kind of set up, like through the years, right? Like all the new equipment that's been in there. Like last year, Michael Lorenzen threw a no-hitter. His cleats were already in there. Like that was so cool. Dude. Eric Bruntlett. I think my favorite part, though, if I had to pick a favorite part of the museum of yesterday, was going through the list of the World Series champions in that part of the museum where all of the rings were located. It had every year, every single ring. That to me was my favorite part. Seeing the Halladay jersey as you walk in from the NLDS when he threw the no-hitter, walking into the World Series part, that was my favorite part of the museum. No doubt about it. So if you have not been to Cooperstown, get here at some point. If you love baseball, if you are a baseball fanatic, you got to get here, because it was just seeing all the history and all the memorabilia, the cleats, the jerseys, the hats, the helmets, everything from some big time moments in the history of the game. That was really cool.
Yeah, I think my favorite part was, I know it's like pretty simple. It's just like looking at all the stuff there, like Lou Gehrig's jersey that he wore in his last year, before he retired, and Babe Ruth and all the legends. I mean, I'm just obviously naming the big guys like Gehrig and Ruth, but all the guys, Rogers Hornsby, like Wade Boggs, 3,000th home run, or 3,000th home run, 3,000th hit. That was a home run. Just like all that stuff in there, like they have it, like they have that is some, like, Lou Gehrig, Babe Ruth, mythical, legendary figure, not mythical, but you get what I'm saying.
But it feels that way, right?
It feels that way, right? Like, so it's that type of stuff to me that, like, it's right there. Like, that is that piece of history. I know it's behind the glass, but it's that type of stuff where I'm like, oh my gosh, this is it.
Right.
This is Joe DiMaggio's hat that he wore. This is Joe DiMaggio's piece of
It's iconic.
Like the Joe DiMaggio thing that they gave him for his 56-game hitting streak.
Right.
Like that's what they get. That's what it's right there. Like they have all these pieces of history. McGuire, Sosa. That's another thing we need to talk about. They have Roger Clemens, Sosa, McGuire, all these things. Pete Rose, all in the Hall of Fame, yet they're not in the Hall of Fame. Ridiculous. I don't want to make this a negative show. But
well, can I make a negative for just a second?
Absolutely.
Because this is where the Hall of Fame contradicts itself. You don't want to put Barry Bonds in. You don't want to put Mark McGuire in. You don't want to put Sammy Sosa into the Hall of Fame. But you, in the museum part of the Hall of Fame, where all the memorabilia is, you're still having all of their accomplishments listed, no matter what. What is the point? You have to document what happened in the game, and they're doing that. So why not just put them into the Hall of Fame individually? It makes no sense. They're already there. They have Pete Rose. They have a bunch of Pete Rose stuff there in the Hall of Fame as well, in the museum part. I don't get it. It's ridiculous because you're contradicting yourself. And this is what baseball does. They contradict themselves all of the time, and they can't get it right, whether it comes to uniforms, whether it comes to anything. This is that was mind-boggling to me, how much they showed off. Like, they explained what the PD era was, put it on their plaques. Hey, they were part of the steroid era. Who cares? I mean, you're documenting history, because if you're going to put all that stuff in there and you're going to have the memorabilia in there documenting what happened during this time, the home run chase from McGuire, Sosa, etc., then just put them in the hall. Put them in. It's getting out. It's ridiculous that it's hypocritical in a sense from the writers. Just get over yourselves. It's a part of the history of the game. Get them in to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. And there was a part of the whole steroid era. There's like a little part of the museum where they displayed all that stuff, and they had like a timeline of, in general, like the Mitchell report, and when they banned steroids from baseball, I guess in the early 90s,
right,
they, quote unquote, banned them.
Right.
But they had like the 1970s, they had the amphetamines, the greenies, which they were finding, which a lot of players were taking in the 70s. Like, that stuff was giving you an edge. Like, you cannot look, I get the steroids, what they do to your body as far as like, muscular and like power and stuff like that. But you can't tell me that like a drug like amphetamine doesn't give you an edge of the plate. You're more locked in. You're more focused. That's very important in baseball, is to be locked in and focused. If you have that extra edge just where you're just locked in, that's an edge. So I don't care. To me, that's the same thing.
Yeah,
it's the same thing.
That was really it got under my skin a little bit, because I think that Barry Bonds, Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, you name it, they all should be in the Hall of Fame. Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. The way gambling's going now, I mean, they promote it. ESPN Bet or whatever, anything, FanDuel, DraftKings, they're sponsors to everything now. Right. Put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. Put McGuire, Bonds, Sosa, all those guys in the Hall. If you're already going to document it in the same building, put them in there. They are a gigantic part of this game's history. If it's a negative part, it's a negative part of the history. History isn't all sunshine and rainbows, okay? So put them in the Hall of Fame.
It's true. I mean, look at the history of the world. You have wars. You have the Civil War.
I'm not going to equate it to baseball, but
I'm just saying.
I know what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying. Like, there's negativity in the world.
So there's negativity. A lot of negativity.
I mean, we have things going on right now that are bad. You know what I mean? So, agreed. Yeah. So that's a great comparison. But overall, the museum was pretty sick. We didn't really get time to see the plaques this year or go to the parade, but I felt like it was worth it this year. I felt like it was worth it last year to see the plaques and to see the parade. To see Johnny Bench waving down the street, going, he was really into it last year. Johnny Bench.
They were getting ready for the parade. People were following it, and I'll tell you what, there was a ton of Twins fans here. Ton of Twins fans for Joe Mauer. I don't know how that made you feel.
No. You know what though? I'm leaving that.
I don't know how that made you feel, but.
I'm going to be positive this show. I'm going to give people their flowers where they deserve them, for the most part. But it was good. Yeah, there were a lot of Twins fans. A lot of Twins fans, good amount of Rockies fans.
Yeah.
Saw a few Larry Walker jerseys, saw a lot of Heltons, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Twins fans really have dominated this year's Hall of Fame.
Yeah, walking around, going to the different stores, majority Twins fans. There have been a lot of Phillies fans. I will say there's been a good amount of Phillies fans here.
Right.
And can I say this? He did it again, folks. He did it again. You wore an A's jersey this year, which is not as bad because they played in Philadelphia for a while, right?
Yeah.
As I'm wearing the Philadelphia Athletics shirt today. You wore an A's jersey yesterday and started telling people go Phils again.
And it was out the gate, too. We weren't even there yet.
You were doing it at the rest stop.
We got to the rest stop, and there were a few Phils fans. I was like, hey, go Phils like, all day. And then I didn't get no side eyes. I didn't get none of that. It was respect. It was like, oh, this guy's a baseball fan. Phils fan.
I think they felt bad. I think they felt bad.
Yeah, why would they feel bad?
I think they thought you were a little confused and you were just a fan of the game.
So they decided to be like,
just went with it.
We'll say go Phils. Oh,
yeah.
He must be some.
Yeah.
Oh, he must be some disabled little man.
No, not like that.
No,
but
well, yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, we stopped this place, and there's a few Phils fans. I said what I said. That's all it is. I said what I said.
You're not. Don't say go Phils. Okay. You can't, don't say it today. In that, don't say it today.
What, in the Rays jersey?
In the Rays jersey.
It's a Wade Boggs jersey. Relax. It's a Wade Boggs jersey. 3,000 hits, not 3,000 home runs. Legend at the plate. I wear the legends of the past when I come to the Hall of Fame. I don't sit here like Pete's wearing I just spoiled the guest already. I'm not telling you the last name yet, but Pete over here, he's wearing the Mariners Griffey. He's a Phillies fan. You ain't gonna give him crap. He's wearing an Athletics jersey, shirt, whatever. He's wearing a Ron John hat. You ain't gonna give him crap, but you give me crap because it's me. It's okay though. I take it as a compliment. That's it.
Are you done?
Wade Boggs, baby. I rep the name on the back. I rep the legends. He could have been playing for the Phillies. I won't wear a Yankee jersey. I won't wear a Braves jersey. I do have boundaries, okay? Yankees, Braves, Mets, Nationals, Marlins. I would maybe I wear a Marlins jersey, depending. Maybe like an old Andre Dawson Marlins jersey. You know what I mean? Because the legends. What are you doing with your mic? Make sure that thing's on, all right? Well, actually, no. It'd probably be a good thing if you just turn it off for the people. But so yeah, overall, back to before you did this, by the way. No one else did this but you.
I know.
So the experience overall this year was really fun. Just in general, the museum was really cool. I was really happy that we were able to see most of it. Yeah, I just thought it was really awesome. Just so much history. It was really breathtaking and really, really cool. So just in general, it was awesome.
I'm with you. I think overall it was really cool to see that part of the museum. We didn't get a chance to do it last year. This year we did. If you are a fan of baseball, you would be in absolute heaven. I mean, it was really cool to see the history of the game, everything that's kind of happened, moments in history. Oh, I kind of forgot about that one. So it was a cool reminder about what baseball has meant to the world and to a lot of people who have come through this game, and it's been there every step of the way. So really cool stuff.
Yeah, it was also like one thing before we get on to honoring the inductees. It was also pretty cool to me, or pretty almost not surprising, but there's a lot of stuff in there. I'm like, why would that person give that up? We wouldn't want to hold on to that, or it's okay, Baseball Hall of Fame. So
but
I see certain things in there and be like, oh my God, they gave that up.
I feel like giving them a hat, you still got the jersey, right? Or you gave them the jersey, you kept the hat or the cleat. You know what I mean? So you're giving up just a piece of what that now a ring or something, a watch, George Earnshaw. We visited that again, right? We visited the Moose.
Great grandfather.
He's not uncle.
Okay, I thought it was your
uncle.
We gotta get it right.
We gotta get it right. We gotta get it right here. We're all with accountability, right?
Right.
All right. But yeah, it was I think it's because you're giving up just a piece of what you had. And it's not like you're giving up everything. Now, I'm sure there was cases where they gave up, take it, I don't want it. But I feel like if you're giving up a jersey, you probably have the hat, you probably have the cleats, you have the ball or something from that moment in history. You had the bat or you had the glove, whatever. You're still going to have a piece of it. If you were that player, you're just giving a piece so everyone else can enjoy it.
Right. Okay, let's get to talking about the players and manager that will be inducted this year. We have some great players that are going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. this year. And again, going to try to lay off the look. It's about the guys that are getting inducted in today. It's about the positivity of that.
Yes.
So we're going to start with Adrian Beltre. 477 home runs. 4-time All-Star. How many Gold Gloves is the Baseball Reference is struggling to tell me? All right, right here. 2-time Platinum Glove, by the way. I forget when they came out with the Platinum Glove. I didn't think he won a Platinum Glove. 2-time Platinum Glove winner, 5-time Gold Glover, and 4-time Silver Slugger, and first ballot Hall of Famer, and deserving of that. That's right, Pete. So what did you think of Adrian Beltre getting in? What's your thoughts on Adrian Beltre in general?
There was a decent amount of Texas fans here. I will say they made the trip up. They did. I don't think it was as strong as the Twins fans. Now maybe it could be different today, but Beltre, man, I mean, third baseman, legendary. Now remember, you couldn't take off his hat. You couldn't touch his head. Do you remember this? In the dugout, he would get all upset if you touched his hat when you would like hit a home run or something.
Right.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. Sort of.
Beltre, very great player. Great defender over at the hot corner.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned,
back it up.
I know they do.
I'm just making sure you know that.
I'm aware. The eye test told me as well.
Right. It's nice when we both
the eye test. The eye test told me too.
Yeah.
But no, it was Beltre definitely deserving first ballot. Getting in, he was first ballot, right?
Yeah, and another thing about Beltre, like I don't think he gets even enough love.
I feel like he's underrated
a little bit as a Hall of Famer.
I mean, he's a Hall of Famer,
and even as a player, probably too.
He's underrated.
Like he was a Dodger, obviously, he was a Ranger. And he had some big time years. Like look at his 04 year for the Dodgers. 48 homers, 121 RBIs, 200 hits, hit 334, 388, 629 slash, OPS over 1,000. Like that's a monster year. And he didn't win because Barry Bonds was just Barry Bonds back then. Yeah. But like that's a monster year where he wins in any other year. And he really got kind of better with time. Like if you look at 2010 on with Boston, that's when he made all his all-star teams, a bunch of MVP votes, and was just a beast with Texas. So underrated, I feel like a little bit. And obviously we all know he was going to be a first ballot guy. And if you look at the numbers, it's like, oh my God, he was a great player, but not talked about enough. Yeah. Maybe because we talk about some other third basemen, like, Schmidt and Brooks Robinson and Eddie Matthews and guys like that. But Beltre had like an insane career that we don't talk about enough. So, I mean, Beltre, big time.
Yeah, he's a big time player. Definitely well deserving. I'm excited for his speech tonight. Just he was overall just very. I'm not gonna cry. Okay. I don't cry. You cried last year. What, for Fred McGriff?
Fred McGriff, man.
So who's gonna make you cry this year? Is Beltre gonna make you cry? Well, is that what's gonna happen?
What
is that what's gonna happen?
But we'll see, because I didn't know I was gonna cry for Fred McGriff. I didn't know. I didn't. I wasn't planning on doing that. So it could be Joe Mauer, because I'll just be upset at the Hall of Fame. It could be Adrian Beltre because maybe he says something that really hits the heart.
Yeah.
Or it might be Jim Leland for some reason.
Okay.
He might talk about when he yelled at Barry Bonds in Pittsburgh. Remember that?
Todd Helton? Yeah.
Todd Helton?
Yeah.
Todd Helton's not going to be crying. He's not going to be
Colorado. All right. Well, you mentioned you invoked the name there after Adrian Beltre.
Okay, who's that?
That's Joe Mauer.
Okay.
First ballot Hall of Famer.
Right. That's insane.
Batted 306, career batting average 306, 2,123 hits, 143 home runs. He was a 6-time All-Star, AL MVP in 2009, 3-time Gold Glove Award winner, 5-time Silver Slugger Award winner, 3-time AL batting champion, played catcher, also played first base towards the end of his career. Injuries probably hindered some of those stats as well. I'm sure would have been even better, but still, nonetheless, Hall of Fame type numbers. Joe Mauer is in the Hall of Fame, Francisco.
Yeah, I know. And look, congratulations to Joe Mauer. I disagree with it. You probably already knew that. If you want to go back into the archives from the winter, I did do a Joe Mauer Cooperstown cases before. I think it was either before or after. God, I'm pretty sure it was before.
You did.
But either way, if you want to go check that out, let me know your thoughts. Would love to know. I'm just, at the end of the day, like, he got in, and congratulations and all that. I disagree with it still. I'm just surprised he's a first ballot. I just didn't think he'd be first ballot. I think a lot of people were surprised he'd be a first ballot. But look, because I want to talk about the positive stuff, Joe Mauer had an insane prime. Prime from about 06 to 2011, 2012. So around there, was just one of the best hitters in baseball, like one of the best hitters where he was, hitting for average, getting on base at an insane rate. There was the one year where he had like 25 plus home runs, and it was like, where did this come from? Never really did that again. But Joe Mauer's prime was really insane in the late 2000s, early 2010s.
Yeah, I mean, his peak, his prime, guy was unstoppable. I mean, the guy could just could mash the baseball, was great behind the plate. Justin Morneau had a lot of cool things to say about him. I was reading something earlier this morning. Justin Morneau, one of his teammates, I mean, it was those two for the Twins during kind of that era, right? They were the two top players. He said when he first saw Joe Mauer, like he was looking at a Hall of Famer. Like, I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially what he said. Like, that's how, like, the aura surrounding, that's a big word that's used a lot now, surrounding Mauer, was just like, wow, this guy is incredible at the game of baseball. And he's a quiet guy, kept to himself for the most part. But like the way he could just big guy, tower over. I mean, he definitely deserving the Hall of Fame. First ballot, I mean, it is a little surprising. I will say this. It's a little surprising he got in first. I didn't think it would happen. I'm glad it happened.
You know what it is, though?
His peak was so good. It was insane. That's what I think about. When you think about Joe Mauer, that's what I think about. Like, obviously the injuries were there, but the peak, unreal.
That's what hurt Mauer for me were the injuries, and he played a lot of first base. I'm just being real. That's what hurt his case for me. But again, I know we're here to be positive and to honor the guys. So yeah, Mauer's prime was just unbelievable. And we are officially back on the shift. This is still the Cooperstown episode. This is Francisco Rojas here with my guy, Nick Earnshaw. And we have the esteemed guest that you heard me mention ad nauseum during the episode. No, I didn't say the last name because I felt like I had to tease it somehow a little bit. Actually, it was actually a pretty good tease.
I think that's when the mic went out.
I could be a news anchor.
You're acting like these people know me.
Dude, I'm supposed to introduce you into talking. That's Pete. I'm not going to say his last name yet because I'm not done yet. The esteemed KYW News Radio anchor. You can hear him every night. What time? 5 to midnight? Mm-hmm. Right, 5 to midnight. Don't say your last name yet. 5 to midnight every Monday through Friday. I probably got that wrong. I apologize. You can correct me when it's your turn. But KYW News Radio, where I met this man in about 2020, and we hit it off because baseball and sports. So, the KYW News Radio anchor, who is a great knowledgeable baseball man, someone with millions worth of baseball memorabilia in his house. The man, the myth. I don't know about legend.
Oh, no.
But the man, the myth.
The myth. I like that.
Pete Innaurato. What's up, Pete? Hey, doing, bud? Get a round of applause.
Hey, guys, I'm doing good. It's like we've been hanging out for the past couple of days together here. And where are we now?
No, we're in Cooperstown, New York, baby. We are in Cooperstown, New York.
We got
live.
A one-bed Airbnb.
Yes.
One-bed Airbnb.
Yes, it's
and
beautiful.
Hockenheimer. Where are we?
We're in Cooperstown, New York, baby. That's where we're live from.
That's what it's called. But anyways, I'm doing good. It's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed seeing different parts of New York on the outskirts of Cooperstown. It's been fun. So
yeah,
this has been a good trip. I mean, I actually am happy that you picked this random Airbnb in the middle
in Cooperstown, right?
Because I did want to see the land and the farms,
the sea, right?
Yeah, the whole scene. So I'm happy that
we
picked this.
Yeah, and thank you for letting us roam the museum because I know you've seen it so many times.
Right.
I know
you're a veteran of the National Baseball Hall of Fame.
We're getting a little bit long in the tooth there with the hours we were putting into that Hall of Fame. I mean, you were inspecting the gloves.
But I'm sure the first time you went, you put the hours in.
Yeah. I mean, I give a good look. I read it and then I move on. I mean, you were just staring at Sammy Sosa's bat. I'm like, whoa.
Dude, man, listen, man, this is years and years of... Look, we're probably going to do the same thing next year.
Can we also mention... Pete, I know I wanted to bring this up with you, and we're not going to allow him to just skate past this.
What?
Right.
You brought up in the Hall of Fame yesterday. Yes. We were there in the Hall of Fame, in the museum. We were taking a look at a Sandy Koufax artifact.
Right.
You had the gall, you, Francisco Rojas, to say that Sandy Koufax probably shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
Short career, man. Short career. 12 years.
You're such a hypocrite. Let me tell you why. I'm going to attack you right away.
Go ahead.
Because you have made this argument that Chase Utley should be in the Hall of Fame because he had a 5-year stretch of dominance in this position.
Right.
Sandy Koufax's 5-year stretch from 62 to 67 or whatever?
61 to 66.
Yeah, okay.
I'm looking.
Led the league in ERA, strikeouts.
Insane.
But it's not comparable. Chase Utley's stat line for that 5-year stretch is not comparable to Sandy Koufax.
Okay, so by the way, I've actually been kind of back and forth with Chase Utley since we last talked. I am borderline on Chase.
My point is
I know what you're saying. My whole thing is that if you look at Koufax's numbers before 61, he was just an average pitcher.
Okay.
So he had 5 great years. You're going to put him in the Hall of Fame for 5 great years?
Still had a lot of strikeouts in those years. But,
I mean, strikeouts aren't everything. Then let's see. He had... he averaged like 140 to 50 strikeouts. That's fine. Then he went on. I don't know what happened from 60 to 61, but all of a sudden, 269, 216, 306, 223, 3.
How many no-hitters did he have?
Insane. I know. That 5-year stretch was insane. I know a lot of players.
You're talking about the
5-year
durability factor, but if you look at his overall stat line for the amount of time he was in the league was incredible.
And the peak was
not
ridiculous.
Even an argument. I can't believe you can say that.
And we were talking about the peak just now with Joe Mauer. Joe Mauer, first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's not a Hall of Famer to me. Joe Mauer's not a Hall of Famer. I'm not here to talk about.
But you can't pick and choose which players. You can't pick and choose.
I can. What do you mean? I can. I absolutely can.
If we're just talking about Sandy Koufax, I need you to say right now that was an idiotic statement.
See, the thing is, I want to do a video on this, so I'm not certain on this take yet. This take has been in the back of my mind. This is like,
It came out. It's a bad take.
I'm going to explore this at some time.
You can
That's fine. That's your opinion.
You can explore the take. But to say that he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame is ridiculous.
Hey.
I mean, I can't imagine any of our viewers.
Well, you think Jimmy Rollins is a Hall of Famer. That's egregious. So, anyway, besides you bringing up the Sandy Koufax, I don't necessarily want to talk about this yet because I didn't feel.
Of course he does.
He doesn't want to talk about it. I didn't feel. This is one of those takes where I'm like, I think I'm with this take, but I'm not there yet. That's how I am with the Koufax thing. I think I'm leaning towards it, but I'm like,
you got to learn to filter your takes.
But it's Sandy Koufax, so it's like I got to make sure that I'm concrete.
Yeah, you do better.
This isn't sports radio. We're not trying to get the listeners to just tune in. Ridiculous thing.
Listen, man, I'm proud of my environment.
You got to filter these because to the average person, they would say that's ridiculous about.
I
Sandy.
know that's fine. Good.
Anyway,
that's how they feel. That's how you feel. That's how you feel.
Yeah, I don't think it's how you feel.
I don't know,
honestly,
man.
I think it does. It is how
I feel. But I don't know, man. There's a lot of guys, a lot of frauds in the Hall of Fame.
Based upon his back and forth on certain players, it's definitely how he feels.
All right.
If he wouldn't just utter it out if he didn't feel it. He uttered it out in the Hall of Fame yesterday, and me and you just looked at each other. And he just, it's not like he whispered it.
Okay,
not like he was whispering it.
Can I bring up one more thing then?
Go ahead.
That I brought up to yesterday. I'm a baseball fan first. I love to death the Philadelphia Phillies, but I'm a baseball fan first. I appreciate the Joe Carter home run as a baseball fan. It hurts, but there's a part of me that enjoys watching it because you don't see stuff like that in sports. A walk-off home run to win the World Series. It's pretty insane.
Well, maybe because you weren't alive for it. If you were alive? No, I wasn't alive for it. If you were alive for it, then you might not enjoy seeing it. Do you like seeing Juan Uribe's Game 6 home run off of Ryan Madsen in 2010 with the Giants?
Nah, it's a little different. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So maybe you're right. You don't want to relive these moments.
Wait. Juan Uribe doing that versus Joe Carter's walk-off home run to win the World Series. Iconic. It's different, man. Like you got Jordan shot against the Jazz. It's Joe Carter against the Bills.
Great. But my point is, you don't want to relive bad moments in Philly sports if you witness them.
If you were alive for them, if you were alive for the Joe Carter
shot, like Kawhi,
you don't want to relive the Kawhi shot. It's on the order of Joe Carter.
It might not win the World Series,
overrated.
But
anyway,
what? You think it's overrated?
Because it's the triple quadruple.
That's not overrated. It's an iconic.
Screw.
And I don't want to go back and watch it. If you were alive for Joe Carter, you wouldn't want to go watch it. You're a Phillies fan. In a Rays jersey right now.
Imagine if the Phillies won the World Series in 22, and they were leading, 6-5, something like that.
You're right.
It's a 2-run homer. You want to watch that?
Right. I remember slamming my dining room table when Schwarber struck out. Kevin Ginkel struck out Kyle Schwarber in the bottom of the 8th, and I realized that we were going to lose to the Diamondbacks in the LCS. I never felt that much anger in my life in a long time. Yeah. So you're right. So I understand what you're saying. If I was alive, you know what I mean? So yeah, screw the Diamondbacks. So anyway, this is supposed to be an interview. So Pete, what did you? I apologize. We went on rants. Honestly, it was his fault.
Your apology.
It's good stuff.
So. By the way, I like the Griffey jersey you're donning today. No one's going to give you crap for that because, it's not me. So,
He's not going to be saying go Phils all day either.
He might. He got the Phillies hat.
Yeah, but I'm giving some history here. I'm giving Seattle Pilot.
But I can't give history with Wade Boggs and the Rays.
I never said anything.
I know.
I said something.
He'll say something.
I'll say something.
Yeah, why can't I wear it? Go ahead.
Because you're telling Phillies fans you're not wearing anything Phillies.
But what if I'm going to be a part of the group with you guys? I want to say go Phillies too.
No.
Okay.
See, I'm not somebody to drop a go Phils on somebody when I'm walking by them. I want to be left alone. I'm not here to make all and talk.
So
I'm not here to talk to anybody.
Right.
So I just want to go look. Yeah, what I got to do. What I got to do.
When you saw me talking to Scott in the story, you're like, "What's this guy doing?"
Yeah, I'm like, Scott, I got to go.
Scott, I got to maneuver out of here.
Right. I do enough talking throughout my job, and you know what I mean.
We all know. Yeah,
I'm not saying I'm the guy. I just, you know what I mean. I'm here with you guys. Right. But anyways, we were going to ask me what I enjoyed the most.
Yeah, no, just in general. What was the experience like this weekend for you?
I love coming to Cooperstown, and I think we did it right. We left Saturday morning. We're going back Sunday night. It's a quick in and out. Go to the Hall of Fame. Check out the Strip. We saw a little bit of the outskirts of Cooperstown, and now we're going to go see the speeches, and then I'm going to go back home to my cat. But the thing is that
Harper, right?
Harper, yeah.
I don't know if I'm saying that.
So the thing I enjoyed the most about this year, though, was I did appreciate that we took our time in the Hall of Fame, and I was able to see some of the new artifacts in there because I do, appreciate vintage memorabilia and whatnot. But I thought it was a quick ride. I slept in the back. It was a nice, easy ride down, which actually made the trip more enjoyable because I feel like sometimes when it's so long, you get exhausted. But I wasn't exhausted getting here. I felt energized throughout the day. I love being in Cooperstown. I could say it's the same thing for me every year, but it's not because I think every time I come, I get a new perspective. There are new players being inducted, and I just enjoy the atmosphere.
And you hear different takes. You hear the Sandy Koufax takes. You hear you hear that too. So you only get something new.
Those exhaust me.
I know. I can tell you're getting upset. I don't want to upset you.
But okay, well at least you admit it. But I did enjoy it. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
You kind of alluded to it there. What was the one thing you enjoyed the most then?
The one thing I enjoyed the most was,
this year.
Yeah. I would have to say the display of the Babe Ruths because I didn't really get to ever look at that in depth. I got to see his jerseys and read some of the quotes and see some of the autographs of his. So I enjoyed the Babe Ruth exhibit display.
I do want to ask you, heading into today, Helton, Mauer, Beltre, Leland, just any memories from those players that stick out in your mind, seeing them go into the Hall today?
Well, Jim Leland with the 2006 Detroit Tigers. I think it's really interesting that Jim Leland got in because if you look at his overall stats, he's a 500 manager. Right. Now, he's got great storylines behind, the Pirates winning a few East titles in a row. Right. Leading the Tigers to the World Series. And the
Marlins won.
And the Marlins won, yep. Yeah. So he's got good storylines. His overall stats are not impressive because he dealt with a lot of bad teams. But, he's a baseball lifer. He's well-respected. But Jim Leland and the 06 Tigers, strikes me the most. Of course, I saw all these players play live, and I always thought Todd Helton was, just a phenomenal hitter. And it's just my opinion. It's true. I mean, look at his stats. But Beltre was one of the greatest third basemen of all time. And I hear you guys saying he was underrated. And I think that's true. I mean, he really hasn't gotten a lot of recognition for how great he was. Over 3,100 hits and almost 500 homers. So everybody that's getting in, I grew up with, and I think they're all deserving. Jim Leland will be the only fringe guy, I would say. But if you look at his storylines and how long he's been in the game, I can say it.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So Joe Mauer, to me, I mean, you're saying I don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I've never bought into the first, second, third, fourth, fifth ballot kind of thing. Like, if you're a Hall of Famer and you get in, you get in. I don't care what ballot you're in. Yeah. Is he a Hall of Famer, period? Yeah, I think he deserves to be in, whether if you thought that was through the Veterans Committee or if it was first ballot. But I think he deserves to be in the Hall. So that's that. I mean, you could go back in history and look at all these players that
I will
don't
say,
deserve to be
a little shocking that he got in first ballot. I was like, oh, he actually did get in on the first ballot.
Yeah.
But no doubt about it, he was getting in no matter what.
Right.
Like, very well
I can see the argument, how was he first ballot, but should he be in? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, according to you.
Listen. All right.
2 against 1 here.
So should we look ahead to 2025?
Yeah, if you want to.
All right, so we can look ahead to 2025 now. Let me pull it up real quick. So
got it right here.
First timers. Let's talk about the guys will be on the ballot for the first time. I think there's some interesting stuff here. We can just run through the names.
Ichiro.
So Ichiro, Sabathia, Pedroia, Ian Kinsler. You think Pedroia's a Hall of Famer?
No, Sabathia.
Yeah, I agreed.
Yep.
Felix Hernandez, Troy Tulowitzki, Ben Zobrist, Curtis Granderson, Hanley Ramirez, Russell Martin, Adam Jones, Brian McCann, Martin Prado, Carlos Gonzalez, no disrespect to Martin Prado, but what? Melky Cabrera, what a name. Clay Buchholz, Francisco Liriano, Ian Desmond, Jason Vargas, Kendrick Morales, Mark Trumbo, Fernando Rodney, and Mark Reynolds. A lot of names.
A lot of names. Sabathia get in.
Yeah.
So Tulowitzki, oddly enough, has like these phenomenal fielding statistics.
Yep.
Great peak.
I mean, he's not going to get in, but the point is that he's like, if you look at his fielding statistics, like they are like at the top all time, like fielding percentage. Like
he was insane.
His peak. Defensive run Sabathia and Suzuki are going to get in. I think that's it. Everybody read.
Out of those two, first ballot.
Ichiro is first ballot. I actually don't think Sabathia is first ballot. I think he'll get in. I think he's saying, but I don't think it's be first ballot. No,
I think he'll get in first ballot.
I think they'll both get in.
Yeah, I think Sabathia is a big enough name.
Now, Granderson at some point.
You got to bring up his stats. I don't know on top of my head.
No. Sabathia is a Hall of Famer. Like, we don't disagree there. I just don't think he's going to get in.
Good enough for his ballot.
But here's the reason why, though, is because we haven't talked about them yet. The other names in the ballot that are going to be there. Billy Wagner, to me, that's
last year, right?
Billy Wagner's going to be the last year. He was at 70, almost 74%. He missed by 1% last year.
Right.
And Andrew Jones, I think Andrew Jones is a Hall of Famer. He's at 62 last year. It's going to be his 8th year on the ballot. Carlos Beltran, to me, is a slam dunk Hall of Famer. He'll eventually get in, but I don't know if it's going to be necessarily this year. There's a lot on there, man. A-Rod, I don't know what's going to happen with A-Rod. Manny's probably not. It's going to be his 9th year. Utley, that's going to be his 2nd year on the ballot. He started out 28.8% last year.
He'll probably move up.
Bobby Abreu, 6th year on the ballot. I don't know what's happening with Abreu. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Abreu's
Wagner. I think Wagner will get in.
Yeah.
If he was at 74 last year.
I can't see him going backwards. I can't see it happen.
Andrew Jones, I don't know if he'll get 13% more.
I guess my whole point is that I'm with you, Sabathia being a Hall of Famer. Just a lot of names there, man. There's a lot of clutter. I don't know if Sabathia. I don't know if Sabathia is going to be.
Sabathia is a first ballot Hall.
Sabathia's going to get.
I mean, we all agree.
Sabathia's going to get.
Next year he'll get in.
Yeah,
you think first ballot?
First ballot.
Okay, I wouldn't be surprised.
95% or whatever.
Ichiro is 100% going to get.
Yep.
Yeah, not going to get 100%, but he'll get. He'll get close.
It's always interesting because you see first ballot 95%. Like, how did they not get 100?
Right.
So he'll probably get 90 something.
It makes no sense. There's like legends that didn't get 100%. It's like most didn't. I mean, Mo was the only one to get it, right?
Mariano Rivera is the only one ever to get 100% of the vote.
Right? How could you?
What
not
sense does that make?
100% Willie Mays. Like, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there were either reporters or writers that maybe had hatred towards some of these guys or racist.
Right.
Let's be honest. I mean, the 60s, 70s. Right. I'm sure they did that for that reason, and they didn't care.
If they weren't racist, but what about like Derek Jeter? How could you not put 100% on Derek Jeter?
Agreed.
100%. These guys are so Hall of Fame.
This is the problem. There's been a problem.
Barry Bonds and Clemens not
with
getting
the Hall of Fame voters.
Half black, half white, so maybe racism there. But you can.
I don't even think it was that.
Yeah,
I think it was
player. How did that get 100%?
It's just I don't know. It's the same kind of idea with all of the guys from the steroid era. Like, there's always an issue with the voting. There's always an issue with the voting. So I just. You go on and on.
Yeah. So that's the ballot's gonna be interesting next year.
Well, my picks would be Suzuki, Sabathia, and if Wagner's that close, I think Wagner should get in too. If he's that close, then he'll get in.
Yeah.
Andrew Jones, I don't know. I
mean, best defensive center fielder ever.
I understand that, but I don't think he's going to get 13% more.
Okay, we'll see. Okay, it's going to be interesting. So yeah, we got today. We got the inductions. We got the speeches. Yep. Really, really looking forward to that. Pete, anything else? What are we looking forward to today? Which speech are you looking forward to the most?
Going to the diner because I'm hungry.
Let's get some food.
It's 10:12. Relax. We'll get out of here. We got to check out our Airbnb, our luxurious Airbnb, where it came with the shift couch. Yeah, this is pretty cool, man. Like they had this set up for us.
Yeah,
and all that because they knew
we were coming.
They know it.
Yeah. Pete, where can they find your work? What do you do? All that stuff.
Just listen to the radio if you're in Philadelphia, 103.9 FM.
Are you on social at all?
Not really. I got Instagram. I'm getting old, man. I don't go on that anymore. I
Not that old.
I don't want anybody looking at my social medias.
You're 30.
I know.
I didn't see like some TikTok reels of you doing work.
Maybe I should. Maybe we'll do a TikTok at Odyssey and try to get some of this stuff going.
There you go. Okay. All right. That has been The Shift. We're going to the diner. Pete, thanks again, bud.
Thank you. It was such a pleasure. It was such an honor to be here today.
Yes, we appreciate you. Mariners fan and Phillies fan at the same time. We're out.